Welcome to the NCAA Super Regionals, presented by Capital One. This afternoon in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, one of these two teams will punch their ticket to the Men's College World Series. Will it be the USC Trojans, looking for their first trip to Omaha in 25 years, or will it be the North Carolina Tar Heels, looking to go back to the Midwest for the second time in the last 3 seasons? Here's how we got here. USC trailed 5-1 in the 6th inning of Game 1. Dean Carpentier's grand slam and Drew Johnson's relief work helped lead them to a 9-5 comeback victory over North Carolina. And yesterday, Jason DeCaro answered the bell. A complete game 2-hit shutout for UNC as they blanked the Trojans 4-0, setting up this winner-take-all. And those are the teams that will be playing on Friday. The winner of this game will take on Ole Miss in Omaha. And we welcome you inside our broadcast booth here at Boshamer Stadium on the campus of the University of North Carolina with Gabby Sanchez. I'm Mike Farron. This is what it's all about. One win separating these teams from the Men's College World Series.
Yeah, at the beginning of every single season, there's one goal that every single D1 team has. That's to make it to Omaha. At the end of this day, one of that team is going to realize that dream.
Well, both head coaches made the same decision when it came to their starter using their hybrid relief ace. Let's start with North Carolina. The ACC Freshman of the Year, Caden Glauber, is going to get the ball to start.
Yeah, I think for Scott Forbes, it was an easy decision. You got to go with Caden Glauber. He is one of the best pitchers in the nation. He has started in 2 games, so he knows what he's doing on the mound. It's an electric arm, and this one's going to be fun for UNC.
Caden Glauber, a finalist for the Stopper of the Year this year, and as a freshman, you see the top 5 in the nation in earned run average. For USC and Andy Stankiewicz, they will turn back to Andrew Johnson. He was outstanding in Game 1 out of the pen, and he was one of the heroes of their regional victory in College Station.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic in that Friday game against this UNC lineup. They have already seen him, but what did he do? He was straight in attack mode. He threw a first pitch strike to the first 7 batters he faced, and out of the 12, he had 9 first pitch strikes. That's what helped him go those 3 2/3 of only 2-hit baseball on 34 pitches.
Incredible work from the sophomore the entire postseason. He will get the ball to get things started for USC today. USC is the most decorated college baseball program in history. 12 national titles, but it's been 25 years since they've been to Omaha. Will this be the team that ends the Omaha drought? Or will the North Carolina Tar Heels find their way back to Omaha for the 9th time in 20 years? It's blue blood versus new blood with a trip to Omaha on the line next. Bill Belichick is here to watch North Carolina try to get to Omaha for the second time in 3 years. Six-time Super Bowl champ and head coach of the football team, and the legendary Roy Williams. He's been here for every game of Super Regionals. The Panama hat keeping the sun off his dome and hoping to get the North Carolina Tar Heels back to Omaha as Caden Glauber gets the ball to start. The freshman from Catawba Ridge High School in Fort Mill, South Carolina, has been dominant this season for North Carolina.
He's been really good. It is a whippy arm, a good fastball, 96, 97. He can get up to with a good slider and a changeup.
First pitch of the ball game is down low ball, and we are underway as Avery Covarrubias leads things off for USC. Second baseman, junior right-handed hitter, takes a strike to the count 1-1. Covarrubias, the table setter and glue in this USC lineup. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss to the count 1-2. USC's offense had been red hot coming into yesterday's game, but Jason DeCaro with an absolute virtuoso performance on the mound. A complete game, 2-hit shutout to keep North Carolina's season alive. And Glauber starts Covarrubias with a strikeout on 96, one gone.
Well, we talk about the whippiness of the arm of Caden Glauber. And here it is, 95-96, a lot of whip in that arm, bringing in that force and just throws it right by Covarrubias.
Leadoff man gone for Adrian Lopez, the transfer last year from Long Beach State University. Right-handed hitting first baseman, has big pull power. First pitch, swing and a miss. Here's a look at the Trojans lineup in this winner-take-all game. It's been relatively quiet for Augie Lopez, but he's their leading home run hitter and was exceptional in College Station during regionals.
Yeah, they're going to need some big at-bats out of Augie Lopez. I mean, you saw what happened in yesterday's ball game. Jason DeCaro, he was great. He was hitting corners. They just really couldn't do anything off of the fastball. Well, guess what? Caden Glauber's coming out today basically doing the same thing. I'm going to throw a lot of fastballs, see if you can hit it.
It's even another gear from what DeCaro had yesterday, 95-97 so far for the freshman as he blows 97 by Lopez. It's 1-2.
We kind of thought this was going to happen. Scott Forbes really told us it's going to be interesting to see. Now, this is his third start. He has made 2 during the regular season. But he said, you know, you don't be surprised if the first ball goes to the backstop and then he settles in.
Grounder back through the middle and a 2-strike base hit for Adrian Lopez. And USC already halfway to their hit total from a day ago. Scott Forbes, the head coach for UNC, 4th Super Regional here at the Bosch of the last 5 years. And it really seemed like it was a pretty easy decision in the end. The other option was to start Folger Boaz, but both head coaches made a decision to go with their relief ace/hybrid, because it's not like either of these guys go just 2 or 3 innings. I mean, they basically carry a starter workload out of the bullpen.
And one of the things, too, with Caden Glauber not having to use him in that Friday loss, it was almost kind of like, well, we know that if we need him on that Saturday with DeCaro pitching, we can easily piggyback them. But if DeCaro is able to get length, then all of a sudden now you're able to start Caden Glauber, and I think that was the thought process.
Augie Lopez takes the ball low, 1-0, and UNC fans will remember Trent Thornton's role on the 2013 Omaha team, where he was very similar to Glauber and then started Game 2 of the Men's College World Series in Omaha for them. They are very similar as you see the recent success for North Carolina. The 1-0. Line down the right field line. That's going to get down, and it'll go all the way over towards the warning track. Adrian Lopez to third. He'll get the stop sign there. The ball gets away, but Lopez holds at third. And USC threatening here in the first, second, and third, and 1 out.
Well, after the first at-bat against Covarrubias with a lot of fastballs, looks like USC said, we got to get our foot down and get it down in a hurry because it's coming in at 96, 97. Augie Lopez gets that foot down. This pitch is down in the zone at 96 miles an hour. Just drops the bat head on it, hits it out to right. Adrian Lopez at first, he's off and running. He knows he's definitely making it over to third. And this is what you need to do, though. As soon as that head hit, he was there. You saw when he turned around, he was a little upset. That's going to be a balk.
A balk on Caden Glauber allows the first run to score. Boy, this happened yesterday in the Auburn-Ole Miss game, too. Just couldn't deliver the pitch.
It was the back knee buckled on him. When he went up, you could see the back knee buckle on him, and he just kind of could not catch his footing.
He just missed on that fastball off the plate, and the count 1-0. You can see Glauber right there in the middle of the rubber, but doesn't look like it's affected him since then.
And here we go again. And this is what happened. You could see as he brings that left leg up. Look at his back leg. You see it almost buckle, like it gets out of whack. At that point, though, pitching coaches will say, just throw it to home. It doesn't have to be in the air. Just roll it if you have to.
1-2 the count.
Last thing you want is a balk. So if that happens, just release that ball to home. Let it roll. It will be a ball. No big deal.
Kevin Takeuchi has been a huge part of USC's success this year as the infield comes in with 2 strikes. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Takeuchi super versatile, getting the start at third base. We'll see him in center fielder late in the game if USC has the lead. North Carolina gambling a little bit with 2 strikes, expecting weak contact. Augie Lopez from third, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Glauber got him on the breaking ball, 2 outs.
Now, I got to remember, right, go back to Covarrubias, the first batter of the ball game. A lot of fastballs. Lopez, a lot of fastballs. Augie Lopez, again, a lot of fastballs. What does he do here? He's going to go right to the bread and butter. He has a really good slider, gets a lot of swings and misses on that pitch. If they're on your fastball, now you got to get them off. You got to be able to spot that slider away, which is what he did in that bat against Takeuchi.
2 outs for Isaac Cadena. First pitch misses outside. It's 1-0. Cadena, the transfer from TCU, who wanted an opportunity to catch. USC has given it to him, and he's rewarded them with a fine offensive and defensive season behind the plate. Got a man at third and 2 outs. The USC up 1-0 thanks to the balk. And the count 2-0. Power has come on lately for USC. Yesterday, just 2 singles. They didn't have a single man reach scoring position against Jason DeCaro. This is a dangerous, powerful lineup now. The 2-0. Foul at the plate. Out in front on that one, it's 2-1. The pitch, 2-2. Glauber 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam without any further damage. Remember, USC had second and third and 1 out. They've been able to play 1. Augie Lopez still at third, the 2-2. Bounced foul.
One of the other things that you're going to have to take a look at, especially with Caden Glauber on the mound to start off the ballgame. It's toasty out there. It is very hot. There's going to be a lot of sweat. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to maintain this 95-96 throughout.
The 2-2. Outside, 3-2. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to watch, I think, with both starters. This is the hottest and most humid day we've had in this super regional. This is not conditions that USC is used to playing in, and really North Carolina hasn't played in conditions like this season. It's been relatively mild. on the eastern seaboard. The 3-2 fouled away. Cadena putting together a really good at-bat here against Glauber and working his pitch count up.
And this is exactly what you want to do if you're USC, right? Fall off tough pitches. Get that pitch count up. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat.
Glauber's 3-2. Swinging a roller foul. Here's what USC's offense did yesterday. Just 2 hits the entire game. Already as many hits here in the first inning and more extra base hits. They didn't have a single man in scoring position. Today, Cadena looking for a big 2-out hit. Swing and a miss. Got him on the breaker and the inning is over. USC gets a run thanks to the balk. After the Augie Lopez double to the bottom of the first, USC 1, North Carolina coming to bat. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Lexus. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. Capacity crowd here today at the Bosch. Eric Paulson, the most outstanding player in the Chapel Hill Regional, homered yesterday and has had a great postseason for North Carolina. They try to get back to Omaha for the 2nd time in 3 years and the 9th time since 2006. And they'll have to do it against Andrew Johnson, Drew as he's known, the sophomore right-hander who was tremendous out of the bullpen and extremely efficient for USC against North Carolina in game 1.
Yeah, in game 1, talk about efficiency. On 34 pitches, goes 3 2/3. It was just him attacking the zone, and I'm interested to see if he's going to take that same game plan here today and understanding that this UNC lineup, they do not expand. So if you're throwing it outside of the plate, they're not going to go swing. If you're attacking early, then they will expand with 2 strikes.
Jake Schaffner will lead things off, the transfer from North Dakota State, who's had a terrific year in the leadoff spot. First pitch misses low. It's 1-0. We had a chance to talk to Scott Forbes about Schaffner a little bit before the game, and he was just effusive in his praise for how much better he's gotten over the course of this year. 1-0. And the leadoff hitter takes outside. 2-0. And this is already a different looking Johnson, who was firing 94, 95 out of the bullpen. Looks like he's trying to pace himself early.
Yeah, I think it's pacing himself, understanding it is hot, and they're going to need him to go deep into this ball game.
3-0.
Now, what we did say, too, is, remember, in the last outing that he came in on Friday out of the bullpen, he threw a first pitch strike to 7 consecutive batters.
And there's the first strike that he's thrown.
Now, he hasn't been off, really. It's just been a little bit off around. It almost looks like he's trying to paint those corners, just not getting in there yet.
A high strike, and the count is full. Well, the difference was USC had turned the game around, right? Yep. They were down 5-1 in the 6th inning. They scored 5 runs. They took the lead, and all of a sudden Johnson came out of the pen, and UNC was a little bit on their heels, it felt like, too. Schaffner off the pitcher to Takeuchi. The third baseman throws him out. A 1-5-3 put out for out number 1.
This is an interesting start to the ball game if you're Schaffner. This ball ticketed right back up the middle, hits off the leg, and how about right perfectly deflected to Takeuchi at third base, who makes the strong throw over to first.
Schaffner thought he had a chance to beat it out, but Johnson's lucky he got his hand out of the way there, too, as Gavin Gallagher bats and pounces the first one foul. It's 0-1. Gallagher, the junior second baseman, he'd started at third base the last 2 years. He's been the best defensive second baseman in the country and has a great reputation in the postseason. Twice most outstanding players in regionals as a freshman and sophomore. Inside out swing past the diving Adrian Lopez into right field. Gallagher rambling around first, heading to second, and he's in with a head first slide and a one-out double in the Carolina first.
Mike, this is what we call the excuse me double. You get a fastball in on the hands, you're late to get there, but you keep your bat head in the right position. Those hands very close and tight, and even though he got beat, he was able to at least get enough down that right field line. And by the way, he knew it as soon as it got by Lopez at first base. Yeah, I got to get going and get myself to second base. Good hustle.
Gallagher wasn't running great yesterday. You can see the difference in Johnson as a starter and a reliever. We were talking about it looking like he's backed off his fastball a little bit. Those numbers as a reliever, really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, as a reliever, it's 93, 94. Now, you also have to realize that he did pitch on Friday. And even though he didn't pitch that many, it was 34 pitches, you still warm up in the bullpen. There's still a process of getting ready.
Owen Hall bats, and the all-ACC center fielder takes the ball. It's 1-1. All the transfer from George Mason saw the power increase throughout the year. And you see he has been a great run producer for North Carolina, who has struggled with men in scoring position in this super regional so far. Tap and foul, it's 1-2. They've had a lot of opportunities. They had the bases loaded, nobody out in the first inning of game one of this super and couldn't score.
Yeah, bases loaded with one out, and yesterday's ball came and couldn't score. That's been one of the problems, especially in this super, where they've been getting the guys on. They've been having a lot of offense. It just haven't gotten that big hit.
The 1-2. Ball goes down on strikes. Best fastball so far from Johnson, 2 outs.
And this is something that we saw out of Drew Johnson on that Friday game, where he likes to throw, especially with 2 strikes. It's going to be up in that top quadrant. He wants to expand the zone up to be able to get those breaking balls down. Hall just cannot catch up to it.
2 outs for Macon Winslow, the DH, in the cleanup spot again today. First pitch misses high. It's 1-0. Winslow, the transfer from Duke, has hit in the middle of this lineup all season. A little bit slower finish to the year. And he takes upstairs, 2-0. Here's what we were talking about with North Carolina. They have had a ton of base runners, but just 1 hit so far with men in scoring position. I should mention they had a couple of key sack flies with man at third, less than 2 out situations yesterday to extend the lead. Winslow fouls it back. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get that big hit. Now, they've had some big at-bats in some situations where they needed to have some tack-on runs, and they were able to come through with the sack fly. But when you look at those numbers, it's one of those what could have been, right? Where right now, this is it. It's a win or go home type game.
Inside, 3-1. I mean, there's enough pressure with men in scoring position situations. So how do you take that off yourself in those spots? I think it's a big key.
Right. A lot of it is take what they give you. Right. And that's what sometimes, especially with younger hitters and college hitters, they try to do too much.
3-1 misses in, and Winslow draws a walk. I think big league hitters try to do too much.
And that's the other. Some big league guys try to do too much in certain situations. So, granted, look, man on third with less than 2, right? Putting the ball in play, understanding how to put the ball in play.
if they're playing back. Okay, look, I'm going to sacrifice myself as an out to get the run. I'm not trying to hit that big 2 or 3 run homer. It's about just getting the job done of what they're giving you. Sometimes you're going to get hits out of it. Sometimes you're not. You just want to be a little bit more productive.
Paulson's been one of the hottest hitters for North Carolina. And he swings and misses the first one. 0-1. Yesterday, his first home run of the postseason.
Opposite field, lefty-lefty matchup, and just drives this ball right over the fence to left field. That was a big home run at that moment.
A transfer from Stony Brook waits. And he drives that one foul off to the left. It's 0-2. North Carolina threatening in the first, trailing 1-0. The 0-2. Tapper. Johnson has it, and he will toss to first in time to get Paulson, and the inning is over. North Carolina leaves another in scoring position. We played one. USC with a 1-0 lead.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Friday, Omaha starts. These are the teams that are playing game 2s of Super Regionals today, including Georgia, Mississippi State. Georgia with a 1-run lead going to the bottom of the 8th inning at Foley Field, and Mississippi State, I think, just took the lead on a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th. A big comeback. They were down 7-2 in that game. Then after Georgia came back down 7-0 yesterday. So a really wild one going at Foley Field, where no surprise the ball is flying.
How many home runs was that yesterday over there? It was like 10 or something.
It was 11, but it felt like 100 as Caden Glauber strikes out Jack Passier to start the second. Already 4 strikeouts for the freshman right-hander.
And all of a sudden, you're starting to see the slider a little bit more. And for Caden Glauber, I think that is what's going to be the equalizer. The fastball is going to be great, but guys can hit fastballs nowadays, even if it's 95 or 96 when you leave it up in the zone.
One out for Andrew Lamb, the son of former big leaguer Mike Lamb, who had a home run in game 1 and a safety squeeze single. And just like a true hitter, no batting gloves.
That's straight old school.
1-1. There's Mike Lamb, Gabby's former teammate.
My former teammate, just hanging out watching his son.
He was, from what I understand, a nervous wreck before game 1.
I just loved when we went to go see him after the game that the first thing he said to his son when Andrew Land came on was, "Nice bunt." Who cares about the home run? I like the bunt.
You know, I like him hitting a 420-foot homer. I think that was pretty impressive. 2-2.
Yeah, he said it. I wasn't able to do that.
2-2 the count to Lamb. Mike Lamb, really good big leaguer. Played for a bunch of teams, could always really hit. Outside, 3-2. It's funny, he was part of those good Astros teams in the early 2000s where he shared time with Morgan Ensberg, who was a big star at USC. He was on the 1998 National Championship team, and Ensberg is the manager of the Durham Bulls. So right down the road from here. That one could flop down the line in left, and it'll get out of play. Three and two the count. And speaking of former big leaguers, Andy Stankiewicz in his 4th season as USC's head coach. After turning Grand Canyon into a top program in the West, he left to take the USC job 4 years ago. Swing and a miss, Lamb down on strikes already. 5 punch-outs for Glauber, and he's fanned the last 4 hitters he's faced.
He's recorded every single out for UNC at this moment with all the strikeouts. Again, it's just nasty. Really good breaking ball, especially when you have to respect the 95, 96 mile an hour fastball.
2 outs for Dean Carpentier, the number 8 hitter. Carpentier had the go-ahead grand slam in Game 1 of Super Regionals for USC as he takes a strike. Bottom of the lineup fueled USC in regionals and in Game 1 yesterday. They were pretty quiet. Carpentier sends it to center. Owen Hull going back, still going back. He's got room as he makes a little leap and backs into the fence at a 1-2-3 inning for Caden Glauber. We head to the bottom of the second. USC leading North Carolina 1-0. Here's some of the great players in North Carolina history. You see B.J. Surhoff, Brian Roberts, son of former coach Mike Roberts, Andrew Miller. Dustin Ackley was an absolute stud at Carolina. Vance Honeycutt, one of the best defensive outfielders the ACC's ever seen. The Dark Knight, Matt Harvey there. We walked through their Hall of Fame today.
It was really cool.
Oh, man, some really great artifacts here at the Bosch, including just a really cool Surhoff jersey. Colin Hynek floats it into shallow center, and Carpentier, the shortstop, out to get it. 1 pitch, 1 out in the North Carolina second inning. We mentioned B.J. Surhoff, who was a great Major League player. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB-TV. 1-0 Southern Cal here in the second as Tyler Howe takes the ball outside, 1-0. Freshman's had a really good finish to the season. The numbers don't look great overall, but his approach is excellent. He's going to be a big part of their offense going forward.
I mean, his approach just fits into everybody else that they have in this lineup. They're not swinging outside of the zone. You have to throw them strikes for them to be able to swing the bat.
He lines that one into right field. It's a base hit. A one-out single for Tyler Howe here in the second.
It was funny, too, because Andy Stankiewicz, he talked to us about that, too, about how their lineup is and how, you know, good they are top to bottom of just not swinging outside of the zone. He's like, it makes it really tough on the pitching staff.
I like that he's got his cheering section down the right field line. Can he make them happy with a snap hook shot?
I'll tell you what, if he does a snap hook shot, be ready. It's coming in hot.
Cooper Nicholson takes a ball outside, 1-0. Leading home run hitter moved down to the 8th spot. He has struggled this postseason, although he was hit by a pitch and delivered a sacrifice yesterday. Through to first, and Howe was diving back before Johnson even released the ball. Howe 4 of 4 in stolen base attempts. Kadena pretty good thrower behind the plate. That could be 2. Takeuchi to second for 1. Covarrubias to first. Around the horn for a 5-4-3 double play. And Johnson extinguished the minor threat. Fine defense to close out a 6-pitch inning for Andrew Johnson. As USC has a 1-0 lead heading to the third, winner to Omaha. Hot, humid day here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Ramsey's even going with short sleeves today as North Carolina and USC play with a trip to Omaha on the line. Caden Glauber back to work against the freshman Walter Urban, who takes a ball high. Urban added to the lineup late in the season. He's been a spark both defensively and offensively. Gabby, in his spare time, he does capoeira. Are you familiar with capoeira? Fly ball to right, going back out of this Tyler Howe to make the catch for number 1. I'll tell you about it in a second here. The NCAA men's super regional coverage continues this weekend across ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all NCAA championships.
Is that where you go have tea with a small little animal?
No,
that's
not.
Looks like a rat that's humongous.
I think that's if you go through the looking glass. I think that's what happens there.
Is that a capybara?
Capybara, yes.
It's not the same?
It's like a large rodent. No, capoeira is Brazilian fight dancing.
fight dance.
It looks
How
like,
was I supposed to know that?
well, I mean, I didn't know how studied up you were on your dance moves, but it looks a little like breakdancing and Tai Chi, and also kind of like when the two dudes fight in Step Brothers. Like it's in kind of slow motion. It's kind of cool. Hot shot to third. Nicholson has it, throws to first, 2 outs.
This ball smacked over to third. Nicholson does a nice job of just making the play and getting it over to first.
Ball hit 100 miles an hour right at you, playing in at third base. Call it the hot corner for a reason.
Is that why? Or is it because it's in the sun?
It's in the sun probably too. I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
1-0 USC. 2 outs for Adrian Lopez, who squares to bunt and takes a strike. So 1. Lopez a single in the first inning, and he scored the lone run in this game on a balk when Caden Glauber slipped on the rubber and could not deliver a pitch. That's how USC has their run. 0-1, swing and miss. Well, that breaking ball is getting some ugly-looking swings right now.
The thing is that he's just playing it off, tunneling it with that fastball. And that fastball's coming still in at 95, 96 miles an hour. So you're trying to get the foot down, realizing that you have to be early for that fastball.
1-2.
Surprised he didn't run that fastball up and in to go right back out with the slider.
Off the end of the bat and foul. You're still advocating for fastball in?
Yeah, just because right now you're starting to see USC kind of reaching out there, and still now they're going, I mean, that ball's probably 3 or 4 balls off the plate, and they're still able to make contact. So once you see that movement going out there, then you can rush it in.
Looked like he tried to, and he just tugged on it, 2-2.
Yeah, they wanted to go in with it, especially after 2 sliders away, just couldn't get it in there, tugged on it. And go back to the slider away.
Brian Gaines, the pitching coach for UNC, and he goes back to the breaking ball. Strikeout number 6 already for Glauber, who's set down 8 in a row. The USC has a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third. Andrew Johnson's mom, Andrea, leading the cheers today in the USC section. Her son has been outstanding in both his appearances.
Got to rehydrate, get a little snack in you.
Got to get a dog at the ball game. First pitch is a strike to Rom Kellis, the 5th. Andrew Johnson's been excellent so far in both appearances. Gets a number back to the mound. Well, underhand to first to retire Ron Kellis, 1 out. Hey, he has gotten some really weak contact here early.
Yeah, especially off the fastball. He's just doing a really good job of going east to west with that fastball, and he's trying to stay down in the zone.
Oh, you got her mid-back. She's just cheering.
Well, I mean, she does get it with mustard, it looks like, only.
Well, that's
so
good.
You're happy about
She's
that.
smart. Yeah. We all know what you should and shouldn't put on a dog. Jake Schaffner hit a comebacker off the backside of Andrew Johnson that Kevin Takeuchi made a play on. He rifles that one into right field, a base hit for the leadoff man. And good speed aboard for North Carolina with one out in the third.
It's interesting to see now, second time through the lineup. Now this UNC ball club and has already seen Drew Johnson. They saw him on Friday, threw the ball exceptionally well, going 3 2/3. Now this is really probably about the fourth time that these guys are starting to see him again. So what kind of adjustments now can Drew Johnson make against this UNC lineup?
Gallagher, a wrong way double his first trip. First pitch swinging, and he pops it up. Foul territory, first base side, and out of play.
We're starting to see UNC be a little bit more aggressive early in the at-bats. They're usually pretty passive, where they want to make the pitcher throw, make them use up pitches, have long, drawn-out at-bats. But when you see a pitcher on the mound who has been now consistently around the zone, throwing that fastball, now you're going to start seeing UNC being like, okay, we got to get the swing off a little bit earlier so you don't get stuck 0-2.
Snap throw to first. Schaffner was leaning, but dives back. Well, that seemed to be what they did against Johnson when they faced him in game one, right? They recognized that he was on the attack in the strike zone from the beginning, and they were swinging early in the count. It's just they weren't having any results.
I think the big one for Johnson, too, is if he's able to control that inside part of the plate. And we've already seen a couple of them here today where they've just been nubbers, where there's nothing, there's no bat head coming through. Guys are getting completely jammed. If he's able to do that, then all of a sudden you can open up that front hip to utilize that slider away.
Fires in a strike. It's 0-2.
Or just paint that every single pitch, and nobody's going to do anything off of it.
Schaffner the lead from first. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Gallagher chases a breaking ball. Second strikeout for Johnson, 2 outs.
And that's where we talk about with the slider, right? Being able to utilize that slider, having that fastball working that outside corner. You play the slider right off of that, the fastball, going to get the swing and miss. Where this ball starts, middle away, breaks off about a foot. Get the swing and miss off of Gavin Gallagher.
Two outs for Owen Hall. Hall a strikeout victim in the first. Leading hitter in this lineup for UNC. Another throw over and Schaffner back.
Yeah, being smart, Schaffner 25 for 28 in stolen bases with 2 outs, not trying to let him get into scoring position.
Johnson fairly quick to the plate, though. He's varying his holds, how long he's taking between each pitch. And Hall lines it down the right field line. That's got a chance to be extra bases. Schaffner on his way to third. Forbes is waving him home. The relay is offline, and UNC has tied the game.
Oh, Owen Hall comes up big. Runner on first, gets a breaking ball down in the zone. It was left out over. Does a nice job of just hitting that ball barrel to baseball. What I love too is Schaffner. As soon as it was off the bat, I knew that Scott Forbes was not going to stop him. You have a fast base runner. You're going to put the pressure on the defense to make 2 good relay throws to get him out. Very good send by Scott Forbes.
Our first Tar Heels chant of this game coming as Owen Hull has tied it, making Winslow behind 0-1. Well, one way to avoid the runner in scoring position issues that North Carolina has had is to knock in a guy from first base.
It's when they get to second is where they have the problem.
Winslow fouls it away, beaten on that fastball. It's 0-2.
At first base, it's like no problem. That's another reason too why Scott Forbes was probably like, "You're going. We're not going to count on 2 hits in a row. You're going to get going. Let's try to tie up this ball game."
A little smile from Johnson. 0-2 the count to Winslow. That one just missed. 1-2.
Good pitch, though. Started right on the outside corner, let it break off. It's not going to be first strike, and if you do get contact, it would be weak contact. Now you can rush this fastball up and in.
Pickoff play to second. That was a real one, and Hull able to dive back. Hull is the other big base stealer on this team, 17 of 22, but with 2 outs, it would seem unlikely he's going.
He's already in scoring position. No reason to try to take off.
Trying to shorten up the secondary. Winslow pops it up into rights, and coming in, Basir. Jack Basir will make the catch, and the inning is over. But North Carolina ties the game. Jake Schaffner's mad dash from first, scoring on Owen Hull's double. We've played 3, tied at 1 with Omaha on the line. Scott Forbes, the North Carolina head coach, is with us. The send on Jake Schaffner. What did you see? Because that was aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't get down to the corner, but Johnson's looked really good, especially against right-handed hitters. You know, I knew it was going to take a good relay. Thankfully, he pulled that a little bit to his left and allowed Schaffner to get in there. Schaffner's quick, too, so I knew he had a shot. You know, 2 outs. I'd rather send him there, make that last out there, than hold him at third base.
All right, Scott, best of luck today.
Thank y'all.
Scott Forbes, the head coach at North Carolina, joining us. This game tied at 1. Game 3 of Super Regionals. The winner goes to Omaha. Caden Glauber set down 8 in a row, and he starts Augie Lopez with a strike. It's 0-1. Lopez, the last base runner to reach against him with a double in the first inning that set up the balk that scored Southern Cal's only run to this point. There's the 0-1. Popped up. The third baseman Nicholson in foul ground makes the catch for out number 1. Game 3 of the NBA Finals tips off on Monday night. Spurs at Knicks with NBA tip-off starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by the game at 8:30 Eastern. Watch it on ABC and stream it live on the ESPN app. A lot of texts that say Knicks in 4. So. That one crushed down the left field line by Kevin Takeuchi, and he has tied the game, taking the lead, for USC. USC ahead 2-1 on the home run from Takeuchi. snaps a string of 9 in a row, retired by Glauber, a guy who doesn't give up many homers, gave one up here.
Yeah, Takeuchi takes care of a hanging slider. Does not miss it, hits at 106 miles an hour off the bat. Caden Glauber blew it as soon as it left Takeuchi's bat.
And a rocket to center field by Cadena, caught by Howell for out number 2. Some hard contact here to the last 2 hitters of the USC lineup.
Yeah, that was the fastball. It's either you start to sit on fastballs or you're sitting on breaking balls, right? You have to do one of the two. You're going to get one of those in the at-bat. For me, Takeuchi was probably looking fastball to right center field, gets a hanging breaking ball, is able to hit it. Right there, Cadena, he was looking straight heater, and boy, he hit that ball hard. It was 108 miles an hour off the bat.
First pitch is a strike to Jack Basir, strikeout victim to start the second. 0-1 misses, 1-1. Kevin Takeuchi with a solo home run has given USC the lead in the 4th. Swing and miss, it's 1-2.
Now, it's only the 6th home run that Caden Glauber has given up this season.
Ball hit up the alley in right center field. On the run is Howe to make the catch, and the inning is over. An 8-pitch inning, but USC gets the lead on the solo homer from Takeuchi.
You hang it, he'll bang it. USC with a 2-run lead going to the bottom of the 4th.
Thursday night, 7 Eastern, Mariners and Orioles from Balmer. Catch it on ESPN. You can also stream the game on the ESPN app. As we get ready for the bottom of the 4th inning, with North Carolina now trailing by a run again, and Eric Paulson cranks one off his knee. Get things started. 0-1. That'll be Paulson, Colin Heineck, Tyler Howe here against Andrew Johnson, who continues to be extremely efficient, Gabby. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1-1.
Yeah, the other thing is, too, is I think he's topped out about 92 miles an hour, so we still haven't even seen those 4s and 5s. So he's doing a really nice job of pacing himself.
Also got a good take there. The count 2-1. What's so interesting about him, Johnson really doesn't walk right-handed hitters. He'll walk a few lefties. He's not a huge strikeout guy, but a pretty good one. He gives up a lot of fly balls, and he gives up a lot of home runs. But the guy that we've seen here in these 2 outings has just been a command specialist. There's not been a whole lot squared up against him. That one fouled away.
The other thing, too, is the way that he attacks certain hitters, right? Lefty hitters compared to right-handed hitters. Lefty hitters, fastball, changeup predominantly. So you'll see a ton of just changeup after changeup.
Paulson skies one into right. Jack Basir coming in, and he will make the catch for out number 1. Leadoff man gone in the North Carolina 4th. Scott Forbes trying to find a way to get their offense going. This great crowd. The only empty seats here are people that are standing on the concourse to get out of the sun. As Colin Hynek bounces it foul. It's 0-1. The concourse here at the Bosch filled with people. USC personnel super impressed with Boschmer Stadium. Talking to them today. Foul tip, the count 0-2.
Yeah, we talked about against lefties, right? Fastball changeup. Well, against righties, it's going to be fastball sliders. So those are the two different things. So if you're a righty, you know you're going to be basically fastball slider. If you're a lefty, you're going to get a lot of changeups.
Swing and a miss. Hynek got back-to-back sliders there. Goes down on strikes. This is the 3rd strikeout for Johnson. 2 outs.
Just a pitcher. I mean, that is what I'm seeing out of Drew Johnson right now. Just being able to just spot the corners with the fastball. It's not an overpowering fastball either. And I mean, you look what he's been able to do to this lineup, going 3 2/3 today, only allowing the 4 hits and 1 earned run, striking out 3.
Tyler Howe singled his first trip for North Carolina. Fouls the first one back. It's 0-1.
It just seems too with that elevated fastball, the Tar Heels aren't able to get on top of it. Like, it just seems like everything is just a tick underneath. So you're seeing a lot of foul balls right back to the screen.
In the dirt, it's 1-1. Howe on the ground to second. Covarrubias will throw him out in a 1-2-3 inning for Johnson. He needed the shutdown frame. USC has the lead going to the top of the 5th. Omaha on the line.
Exclusively on ESPN, 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
Top of the 5th inning, USC with a 2-1 lead on North Carolina. Bottom 3rd of the order due for the Trojans here. Andrew Lamb, Dean Carpentier, Walter Urban. What's at stake? A trip to Omaha today. No big deal. North Carolina trying to go for the 2nd time in 3 years. It's been a quarter century since USC has. And Andrew Lamb just increased their chances. A solo home run to right. It's 3-1 Trojans. Andrew Lamb with his second home run of this Super Regional has extended the lead. And there's a very happy former big league dad.
Oh boy, this ball is crushed again. It's a slider, stays up in the zone, leaves the bat at 106 miles an hour. That's the second home run hit on that slider that just stays up and does nothing. You hang sliders up in the zone, especially when you're throwing that hard, it becomes more of a BP fastball, and guys will make you pay.
Dean Carpentier swings at the first pitch and sends it into shallow right, racing out the second baseman. Gallagher with a fine play in foul ground for out number one. Let's go back to the home run for Lamb, Cabby.
Again, it's a slider, and he hung it. Lamb, boy, he did not miss that one at all.
Fourteenth of the season for the left fielder, extending the lead. Now, the last inning, we have seen a few more mistakes from Glauber. Now, the pitch count shouldn't be an issue. He is stretched out. He could go 90 to 100 pitches. But it does feel like the command is wavering a little bit. And the reason I bring that up is because of how warm a day it is, right? You brought this up at the outset. He had to work really hard to get through the first inning. 25 pitches to get through it. Now, he's been pretty efficient since then, but you wonder how that affects either of these two starters throughout the day.
I mean, look, it is hot. He has had a couple of innings where it's been less than 10 pitches as well. So he has been very good in a couple of those innings. For me, it's just you make a mistake, and right now USC is not missing them. Velocity on the fastball is still there. It's still 94, 96 miles an hour.
Here comes the 2-1. 2-2. Now we would expect behind Glauber we'll see Walker McDuffie, who gave up the go-ahead grand slam to Dean Carpentier in the first game. In fact, there's McDuffie doing some calisthenics. The other name that I think we will see is probably Jackson Rose, the freshman left-hander, who was outstanding in game one as well. And those seem to be the top three names that they will count on for Carolina today. The 3-2 to the number 9 hitter, Urban. He's down on strikes. 7 strikeouts for Glauber, 2 outs.
This is a front door slider. Starts it in on the hips. Gets it to run back over to get the swing and miss.
I don't know, it's another slider that doesn't look like he got to the spot that he wanted it to.
It's really weird to see, because usually his slider, we've seen it here today, it usually has a ton of movement where it starts basically towards the middle.
Covarrubias pops it up foul ground, and Nicholson runs out of room quickly. It's 0-1.
Where it starts over the middle of the plate, and all of a sudden it will break off about, 3 or 4 balls. These are not having that same type of action.
Even that last one was elevated.
Yeah, even that last one looked like it should have been hit a long way.
Now, I would assume that part of the challenge for a hitter is that you still got to get ready for 95. So you're not going to be able to square up as many of those mistakes, it feels like. That was another one that was in the middle of the plate.
And that's the thing. If you're going up and you're USC, for me, I'm thinking right center field for that fastball. Because if he does hang it, it's hard enough at 87 miles an hour that you're able to get barrel to it.
The 0-2, swing and a miss, a good slider there. He gets Covarrubias, and the inning is over, but USC extends the lead. Andrew Lamb, his second hit of the Super Regional, his second homer. We'll talk to Andy Stankiewicz, the head coach of the Trojans, next. They lead 3-1 going to the bottom of the 5th with Omaha on the line. USC with a 3-1 lead on North Carolina as we head to the bottom of the fifth. We're joined now by Southern Cal head coach Andy Stankiewicz. And Stanky, the offense has had a couple of big blasts against Caden Glauber. What are you seeing with the power right now?
Well, just getting underneath the baseball and getting through it, right? Yesterday we had a hard time doing it against their starter, but today we're doing a better job of getting inside the baseball and getting through it to get some good backspin in the pull side. So we got a long way to go, yeah, I like the couple swings that we put on them.
Andy, we appreciate the time. Best of luck today.
Okay, thank you.
Andy Stankiewicz, former Pepperdine standout, former big leaguer. There's the son of the former big leaguer and Andrew Lamb. Bottom of the order due for North Carolina against Drew Johnson, who's been very efficient so far. And it's a one pitch out of Nicholson to start the fifth. Well, this is starting to look like what he did to North Carolina in game one out of the pen. Quick outs.
And not only that, all of a sudden that UNC has now fallen behind by 2. And you understand, too, this is a win or go home. If you don't win this game, you don't go to that goal, which is going to Omaha, putting a little bit more pressure on themselves. All of a sudden now starting to take a little bit bigger hacks.
Rob Kellis, the fifth, takes a ball low, 1-0.
And that's what you want to see if you're UNC. And if you're Scott Forbes, okay, I want to see my team now try to get him up in the zone. Got to be able to get him up.
1-1.
Because that's nasty, right? And all of a sudden, we started to see Drew Johnson. He's starting to throw that slider for strikes. He's able to utilize it whenever he wants. He has that fastball working from side to side.
Here comes the 1-1. Back through the middle and right into the shift. Covarrubias will throw out Kellis, 2 outs. It's a lot of ground ball outs for Johnson, who is a fly ball pitcher today.
It doesn't really give up all that many ground balls. I mean, for the season, he's basically a 34% ground ball pitcher. That ranks in like the 10th percentile of being a ground ball pitcher.
Yeah, he's got 7 ground ball outs today in the 14 outs that he's recorded. So he's done a very good job as the breeze has picked up, blowing towards the left field corner here on this very hot day. Schaffner singled and scored the lone North Carolina run back in the third, scoring from first on Owen Hull's double. 1-0 the count. 2-0. There you see the wind. Gusting to 16 miles an hour. Pretty steady breeze now after it was very still right at first pitch. The 2-0. Schaffner hits it in the air to center. Going back on it is Urban. He's got lots of room, and the center fielder puts it away, and 7 in a row set down by Drew Johnson. He needs just 7 pitches to get through the fifth, and USC leading 3-1 with Omaha awaiting. Time now for Working on a Win, presented by the Home Depot. Right now it's the power for USC that's helping them work towards victory today. Kevin Takeuchi and Andrew Lamb each with solo home runs. They have a 3-1 lead over North Carolina as we get ready to start the top of the 6th inning. There's Andrew Lamb. And the heart of the order due for USC against Caden Glauber here in the 6th. First pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. Glauber still with good velocity. He's given up a pair of solo homers and a run scoring in the first inning on a balk. He's also got 8 strikeouts and no walks. He's ahead 0-2. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Made quick work of Lopez. Strikeout number 9 for the freshman. 1 out. Glauber's stuff has been overwhelming at times today.
I'll tell you what, when he is on, especially with that fastball working side to side, it makes it tough on the hitter because that will open up the slider. He's gotten beat with the slider early on in at bats. When he gets to 2 strikes, though, good luck. You're getting that frisbee slider.
9 strikeouts, career high. That was pitch number 71. Here's the last strikeout.
Yeah, this is the frisbee slider. Where it starts to where it finishes. Oh, that was the fastball. So that was on before.
There's the 1-0. Popped up into left field, going back out of this. Kellis still going back. He's at the fence, and he's got room to bring in out number 2. Ballpark barely held that swing off the bat of Augie Lopez. Fly ball is starting to carry a little bit here at the Bosch. Glauber hoping that it stays in the park, and then a little fist bump. 72 pitches, Gabby. 20 swings and misses. Not 70, that would be really impressive. But 20 swings and misses. A bunt in the air, diving attempt by the pitcher. Nicholson throws it away. Takeuchi, who gave USC the lead on a solo homer, now has a bunt single, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs. Watch the effort from Glauber. It looked like he tried to barehand
He tried to barehand it, and this is one where Scott Forrest would say, please don't do this, because you don't want to land on that shoulder. Landed on the shoulder of his glove. Nicholson was trying to go out there to make the play as he's barehanding it. Ends up throwing it away, so that will be an E5 because Takeuchi is able to get himself into second. But boy, for Caden Glauber, though, ooh, man. Dangerous play there.
Single and an error, and they're going to take the bat out of Cadina's hands and intentionally walk the catcher, it looks like. He was surprised by that. But 2 aboard here for the right-hander Jake Basir. And Andy Stankiewicz is going to use an offensive timeout, and now all of a sudden this is kind of a big situation because there's a couple men on. Basir has not had a great postseason, but he does have 13 home runs on the year. Excuse me, has 10 home runs on the year.
Yeah, but still, it's a double-digit home run guy. If you make a mistake, and remember, too, we've talked about, especially the slider, the get me over early in the count, not really doing much. If you leave something like that out over, that ball can be punished. Now there's a couple of guys on.
Saw Jackson Rose getting loose. Basir 0 for 8 in the Super Regional. Big spot here with 2 outs of the 6th. Takeuchi at second. Cadina at first. Glauber's first pitch. Outside, 1-0.
I don't mind that pitch at all. If you are going to throw a slider, you know that USC might start trying to be aggressive, especially on it. Start on that outside corner, let it break off.
The 1-0. Missed again, 2-0.
Oh boy, now if you're Basir, you're looking for one pitch. I'm looking for a fastball. I'm going to get my foot down. I'm looking to pull it too. I'm not looking to just hit the ball the opposite way. I want to create damage.
The 2-0. Swinging a pop-up. Foul territory, third base side. Nicholson, a long run coming over Kellis, and no play. That was in the air for a long time, but it hits the netting. It's 2-1.
How about that on a 2-0? Goes right back to the slider.
I mean, so is he going to just keep feeding and breaking balls here?
I mean, at some point, you feel like you have to be able to throw that fastball in. The problem is that he hasn't really been able to control the fastball to the inside part of the plate to a righty. It keeps kind of leaking out over.
Andy Stankiewicz club with a 2-run lead here in the 6th. Scott Forbes trying to get Glauber through this 6th inning. A balk with a man at third and 2 solo home runs is all USC has had against the freshman right-hander. Two-1. 2-2. Mike, USC threatening to make it a much bigger advantage. They lead 3-1 here in the top of the 6th. The winner goes to Omaha, and a grounder to third. Cooper Nicholson will throw out Jack Basir to end this inning and get out of a jam. USC leading UNC 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's how USC offense has gotten them this advantage. It was a 1-1 game when Kevin Takeuchi hit a solo home run in the 4th inning off Caden Glauber. And then Andrew Lamb added a solo home run in the 5th to extend the lead. 3-1. Drew Johnson has started and been terrific for USC to this point. USC has not been to Omaha in 25 years, and UNC trying to go for the 9th time in the last 20, Gabby. This is starting to feel like a really tight, intense, and very well-pitched ball game.
Yeah, I mean, both sides are throwing the ball exceptionally well. Drew Johnson for USC, he has been phenomenal here so far in this ball game, utilizing that fastball. Caden Glauber on the other side, he hasn't been bad, just made 2 mistakes, and those mistakes left the field.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Drew Johnson. He settled the game down out of the bullpen for USC in their comeback victory in Game 1, and command has been the story for him today.
It's been command and attack. That is exactly what he's wanted to do. He's got a lot of soft contact, utilizing that fastball, just moving it in and out.
Just 2 3-ball counts for the sophomore right-hander. He has been outstanding this postseason as both a reliever and a starter. He was a reliever in the first game for USC in the regional against Texas A&M, a game that they lost. He then threw 7 1/3 innings of 3-run ball in their Game 6 when they had to win to stay alive, where they lost their opener. And that kid, Caden Glauber's been terrific for UNC today, too. But really, the story has been Andrew Johnson for USC. 3 2/3 scoreless in Friday. And now the question begins to be, how long can he go? He threw, what, 145 pitches in the regional, 143?
Yep.
And he's starting to get close to 100 in this super regional. 1 pitch out if Urban can grab it, and he does, as he retires Gavin Gallagher to start the UNC 6th. And we talked about this earlier, Gabby. They are being very aggressive against Johnson because he's in the strike zone a lot.
I mean, that's exactly what he did on Friday when he faced this UNC lineup, and he was able to shut him down. It was just going into attack mode early on, throwing first pitch strikes, getting the hitters behind. They understand that, so now you have to be a little bit more in attack mode.
Owen Hall drives it down the left field line, slicing in the corner, and it will go foul. It did not have home run distance. But Hall trying to jump on the first pitch, fouled it into the bullpen. 0-1. Hall taking a little bit of time here, probably getting a breather for Glauber as much as anything. Here's the bracket on the left side of your brackets at home. These are the games that will be played on Friday in Omaha. Congrats to West Virginia and Troy on their first ever trips to the Men's College World Series. The winner of this game will get Ole Miss. The 0-1 to Hall. He drives that one to left. That one straightened out a little bit, and that one is off the wall. Owen Hall will stop at second with a one-out double. Try to calm everybody down there, Gabby, and that's something we've talked a lot about because UNC has struggled with men in scoring position.
This is a great swing by Owen Hall. This is his second double of the ball game. Nice and easy. Doesn't try to do too much. Lets that ball get deep, stays inside of it, drives it the opposite way, showing off the opposite field power, too, as that ball hits the fence. But I just love that part of it there with Owen Hall, right? Calm down. It seems like things are starting to rush for that UNC lineup, trying to do too much, trying to tell his team, just calm down, play our style of baseball. On the other side for USC, it's almost like that shutdown inning every inning, right? You do not want that momentum to all of a sudden start to sway towards that UNC and get this crowd into it.
The 1-0 to make it Winslow's a strike, and the count 1-1. You see what UNC has done with men in scoring position in this super regional. They won game 2 yesterday, 4-0. Had a complete game shutout from Jason DeCaro, but they have had a ton of opportunities. They haven't had many big hits. Winslow floats that one towards second. Covarrubias' throw just in time to get him for out number 2. Boy, Covarrubias had to give a lot of ground. That ball kind of corkscrewing off the bat, and as a result, he really had to rush the throw to get Winslow.
Well, for me, it looked like Winslow was trying to go to that right side, and it was a fastball in, and it ends up jamming him. Covarrubias does a good job of not panicking either. Knowing of who the runner was, knowing that he could get to that spot, turn and make the throw.
2 outs and a mound meeting here as Cadero is going to head out to visit with Johnson.
You talked about Johnson, too. You talked about that last game that he had at Texas A&M during the regional. 124 pitches in that ball game. So he is somebody that after a couple days rest can still throw a ton of pitches.
A little bit of believe in the USC fan base. Trying to channel their inner Ted Lasso here. Eric Paulson has been the best hitter for UNC this postseason. He's hitless today. 4 doubles and a homer between regionals and super regionals. Tying run at the plate. And the first baseman takes outside a ball, 1-0. Opposite field home run yesterday. 11 home runs on the year for the big first baseman. The 1-0. A strike and the count 1-1. Johnson has gone to just 2 3-ball counts with hitters today. He has been in control. The 1-1. Paulson fouls it away. It's 1-2. Drew Johnson's mom looking on. Hull gets the lead from second. The pitch. 2-2. Driven fouled on the left field line.
It just seems like to me right now with UNC, especially with the lefties, and we're seeing here with Paulson, fastballs being late. Why? Because you know the changeup is a very good pitch. So the only way you can try to stay on that changeup where you're still able to pull it is if you're thinking left center field. They're just a tick late right now, almost thinking probably down that left field line.
The 2-2. Bouncer foul on a breaker. Well, you saw it with Hall going that way, and you talk about that all the time, right? Turn the field, right?
Yeah.
So instead of being maybe a left center field gap approach. You're looking more towards the line or straight left field, trying with 2 strikes foul that pitch off to the third base dugout.
Especially when you know that he has a really good secondary pitch that gets a lot of swings and misses, which is that changeup.
Hall from second. Tying run at the plate, 2 outs in the 6th. And Paulson takes low when the count is full. Right-hander is up in the USC bullpen. 3-2 the count. The payoff. Swinging a grounder to first. Adrian Lopez will take it himself, and the inning is over. Andrew Johnson has done yeoman's work today. 6 innings of 1-run ball in the book. And an outstanding work from the USC right-hander. Pounding his fist as he heads off the mound. Well, this game will continue on ESPN. And ESPN2 coming up. It'll be Alabama and St. John's. We'll see you on ESPN in a moment. Final third of this game with USC leading North Carolina. Winner goes to Omaha, and Andrew Lamb starts the 7th inning with a base hit, his 2nd of the game. And the leadoff man aboard against Caden Glauber here in the 7th. Coming up on Thursday here on ESPN, it'll be the Mariners and the Orioles. 7 p.m. Eastern. Catch it on ESPN. You can stream the game on the ESPN app. Lamb is going to leave for a pinch runner. So better speed aboard. Lamb often comes out of the game late for defensive purposes. This is Hayden Woodson, a freshman who's running at first for USC. Dean Carpentier, who had the go-ahead grand slam in game 1 of the Super Regional, will likely be bunting here. That's the way Andy Stankiewicz likes to play for it at the bottom of the lineup.
Even though the bottom of the lineup has been doing a lot of damage in this postseason for USC, this is the way he plays it. Bottom of the lineup, get guys over, get guys into scoring position, put the bunt down. Playing that small ball towards the bottom of the lineup.
North Carolina has excellent defense. First pitch from Glauber way outside. It's 1-0. Walker McDuffie beginning to toss in the North Carolina bullpen. Glauber, the relief ace, getting the start in this winner-take-all game, and he's been very good, but his team trails 3-1. The 1-0. Misses low, 2-0. There's McDuffie. The pitch. Strike on the inside corner. Breaking ball that backed up. Carpentier took it. It's 2-1.
Yeah, usually a hard pitch to bunt would be a fastball that's elevated up in the zone and a little bit closer to the body. Those are pitches where guys usually bunt underneath and get the ball up in the air.
2-1. And he bunts it hard towards first. Paulson waits for it and will tag. The batter going by for out number 1. And the runner goes into scoring position. 84 pitches now for Caden Glauber. It's not even his highest pitch total in his last 4 outings. Even though he's a reliever, Gabby, we've seen him go as much as 101 pitches this year in a 6-inning outing at Clemson. So he is stretched out.
Yeah, I mean, on May 22nd, that was against Virginia Tech at the ACC tournament. So that was not too long ago. So he's definitely built up.
He's not pitched in the Super Regional until now as Walter Urban swings and misses 0-1.
And velocity is still there. It's still 94, 95 miles an hour.
Insurance run in scoring position with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Glauber fires in another strike at 94. It's 0-2. Two solo home runs from USC, the difference in this one right now. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He made quick work of Urban for out number 2. Strikeout number 10 on the day for Glauber.
And this is just, I'm throwing the fastball as hard as I can at the moment. 94 miles an hour. Top of the outside corner. Urban can't come up with it. 10 strikeouts on the day. 2
outs for Avery Covarrubias. He is 0 for 3. He struck out twice. The leadoff man of the USC order takes outside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. That one hit just foul. Just past the bag at first. It's 1-1. USC has not been to Omaha since 2001. A dozen national championships. They have as many national titles as North Carolina has men's college World Series appearances. Outside, count 2-1. But it's North Carolina that's been the power over the last 20 years. They are looking for their 9th trip in the last 20 Omahas. 2-1 the count to the leadoff man, Covarrubias. The pitch. Chopped to third. Nicholson gloves it. Throws on the run in time to get him. And Glauber pitches around the leadoff single. Time to stretch here in Chapel Hill. USC leading North Carolina 3-1, winner to Omaha. Bottom of the 7th inning. One of these teams will advance to Omaha. North Carolina trailing 3-1 in the last of the 7th. Colin Heineck to start against Drew Johnson. About bounces a foul at the plate. 0-1. Heineck, Tyler Howe, and Cooper Nicholson. 6, 7, and 8 here in the North Carolina lineup. Defensive changes for USC. We'll tell you about those in a second. Here's the 0-1. Nothing at 2. The new third baseman is Maddox Risky, son of former big leaguer David Risky. Kevin Takeuchi moves from third base to center field. Johnson misses 1 and 2. And the new left fielder Walter Urban, who slides over from center field. Drew Johnson has been the story for USC so far. 75th pitch of the game. And Heineck pops it up. Foul ground, third base side. The shortstop Carpentier makes the catch for out number 1. USC has the most decorated program in college baseball history. Rod Dato, 11 national championships as their head coach. 2 Hall of Famers in Tom Seaver and Randy Johnson. And yet it has been 25 years since they've been to the Men's College World Series and 28 since their last win. Andy Stankiewicz trying to get the team there in his 4th season as head coach. First pitch misses outside to Tyler Howe. It's 1-0.
Hey, this is a big inning here if you're UNC trying to at least get something going. Drew Johnson has just been really good. And now you're starting to see him utilize the fastball even north and south. So he's working all the 4 different quadrants with that fastball. He's able to spot every single one of his pitches.
Tyler Howe to center field, going back on a Takeuchi, slowing, and he'll make the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the 7th. Johnson continues his good work for USC in this Super Regional.
That's just for today. A 6 2/3, only allowing 5 hits and 1 earned run. 3 strikeouts on the day, but he's been working efficiently. Only 78 pitches to this point.
Cooper Nicholson held up. They count 1-0. The pitch. The third baseman takes off the plate, 2-0. North Carolina needs traffic, and Nicholson reaching would allow them to clear the 9 spot in the order. As he takes a strike, it's 2-1. I'm just so impressed with what Johnson has done based on how much he pitched in regionals, and he went 3 2/3 in game 1 out of the pen. 2-2, and his fastball looks the best here.
Yeah, look, it's still, we saw 93s, 94s, even some 95s on that Friday where he went 34 pitches on 3 2/3. Here he's more 90-92, but it's where he's throwing them.
Nicholson fouls it away.
Being able to utilize every single quadrant, just moving that fastball around, it goes to show you don't have to be this overpowering 96, 97 mile an hour fastball to get guys out. If you're able to hit your corners, you're able to move the ball around, you're going to be successful in baseball.
2-2. And the count goes full. That's what Johnson has done just in the Super Regional round.
How about that? Going 10 1/3 so far with only allowing 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 1 run against this UNC lineup.
The payoff, Nicholson fouls it away off to the right and out of play.
But it's about coming back after that game 1 on Friday, throwing pitches, basically shutting down the door against the UNC lineup, getting the start here today, knowing that, yeah, you might be a little bit tired, but knowing that your team needs you to go out there and get outs.
Here comes the 3-2. Fouled away again as Nicholson puts together a good battle. That was the best fastball of the game from Johnson. Feels like he's smelling the end of his outing. Nicholson putting together a big battle here. 9th pitch of the at-bat. A 3-2 again. Ball 4 and a huge 2-out walk for Nicholson as it brings the tying run to the plate. And it clears the number 9 spot in Kellis. And with the lefty Schaffner in the on-deck circle, I have to think that either way, this is the last batter for Drew Johnson.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think this is going to be it. If he's able to get Ron Kellis here, it should be day over for him. Great job. Go to the bullpen where you have 2 fresh arms.
The first mound visit from a coach for either team today comes with 2 outs in the last of the 7th. Sean Allen, the pitching coach for USC, just named the head coach at Lamar. As he visits, the NCAA Men's Super Regional coverage continues this weekend across ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all NCAA championships.
That meeting right there was just to kind of figure out how Drew Johnson is looking for a coach, right? Go up to him, you talk to him, you see how his face is, you see how his body is acting. If you see he's still ready to go, okay, we're going to give him that one more batter. If now a coach goes out there and sees he might be a little bit tired, might go to the bullpen already. So this is basically them saying, hey, go out there and finish this.
Ron Kellis has power, and he taps that one back to the mound. Johnson has it, fires to first, and 7 innings of 1-run ball with the season on the line again for Andrew Johnson. An outstanding start. We head to the 8th. USC leading North Carolina 3-1, winner to Omaha. Welcome to the NCAA Super Regional presented by Capital One. 8th inning. And both starters still in the game. Caden Glauber getting ready to start the 8th inning for North Carolina. A career-high 10 strikeouts, but a pair of solo homers for USC has given them a 3-1 lead. And he will work through the heart of the USC order for a 4th time, starting with Adrian Lopez. First pitch swinging, fouled away. It's 0-1. One defensive change here for North Carolina as Tyler Howe slides from right to left, and Carter French, the new right fielder. There's French, the senior, who replaces Ron Kellis. There's Howe moving to left. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Lopez behind, 0-2. Glauber, in just his 3rd collegiate start, has had dominant stuff, and he's been clipped on a pair of hanging breaking balls. That's it. That's really all he's done at balking home a run in the 1st inning. Just missed. 1-2.
I'll tell you what, Scott Porter's wanted this one, but yeah, it is down. Great job receiving by Heineck on bringing it back up, but it is down.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 11 for Glauber. Your grunt of approval was...
It's just, I mean, you're talking about a guy that
for the most part, has been coming out of the bullpen. And granted, he's been throwing a whole bunch. But in a big-time situation, 94 miles an hour on this hot day, still going strong.
11 strikeouts, all of them swinging. And with the lefty Augie Lopez coming up, Scott Forbes is going to head out and looks like he's going to take the ball from Caden Glauber. Gabby, I would say that the freshman more than did his job today.
I think what the freshman did was basically earn his spot next year in that Friday night role. That's how good he is.
11 strikeouts, 1 walk. That one was intentional. And it'll be a big ovation for Glauber as he walks off the mound, and Walker McDuffie, excuse me, it's Jackson Rose that's going to enter the game. One freshman will give way to another as Rose takes over. ACC Freshman of the Year delivered today for North Carolina. A career high 11 strikeouts, the only walk intentional. An outstanding performance, but his team trails 3-1 as one freshman turns it over to another, and the talented Jackson Rose takes over on the mound for North Carolina. First pitch to Augie Lopez, misses 1-0. Rose's numbers, a midweek starter for most of the year, but he is electric stuff.
Oh boy, it's a really good fastball, anywhere from 89 to 92 miles an hour. Loves to throw that slider against left-handed hitters. Will mostly be fastball, slider to left-handed hitters. You'll see that bump up also in velocity because he's coming out of the pen, knowing that he doesn't have to go really deep into ball games.
So that first fastball at 94, above his average, and the pitch down low there to Lopez. It's 2-1. There's only 3 left-handed hitters in the USC lineup. Walker McDuffie is tossing in the bullpen. Rose winds and delivers. 2-2. The pitch. Called strike 3. Paints 94 on the outside quarter, 2 outs.
Well, Mike, you talked about electric arm. Yeah, this is electric, all right. This is 94 from a low 3/4 slot coming at you. For the season, guys only hit 178 against him.
coming into this outing.
2 outs for Kevin Takeuchi. A solo home run to give USC the lead back in the 4th. He's behind 0-1. All right, Gabby. The top of the order due for UNC in the 8th. They'll have Schaffner, Gallagher, and Hall. The question is, will it be against Drew Johnson? Sax Matson was up in the bullpen earlier. He's one of their more dependable relievers, and he is very good against lefties. 2 of the top 3 hitters in the lineup left-handed for UNC.
I would say it's time that you have to go to the bullpen. Drew Johnson, he did his job. He got you through 7. You have 2 innings to cover now. You can't just keep throwing him back out there. I think right now the velocity, he's going to try to maybe overthrow. It just would not work out great. You got to go to your bullpen.
2-1 popped up. Shallow right. It's the second baseman Gallagher who'll make the catch. And Rose retires both that he faces in the top of the 8th. 3-1 USC as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. North Carolina with the top of the order due. Winner of this game goes to Omaha. USC leading North Carolina 3-1, trying to end a 25-year Omaha drought. Solo home runs from Kevin Takeuchi and Andrew Lamb, the difference in the game, and Andrew Johnson going back out for the 8th inning for USC to face the top of the North Carolina lineup. Gabby, we talked about it in the last half inning. Surprised that Johnson's still out there?
I am. I'm a little bit surprised just because of who you have coming up. You do have 2 lefties, Gallagher and Owen Hall. So you have a good lefty in the bullpen. You have a guy that's been throwing a whole bunch, threw already on Friday, throwing back again on a Sunday.
34 pitches on Friday, and ahead 0-2 as he just reached his 90th pitch of this one. Gavin Gallagher in the on-deck circle. North Carolina has 5 hits, 4 of them from these top 3 hitters in the lineup. Tried to overthrow that fastball. It's 1-2. Schaffner singled and scored the lone North Carolina run in the 3rd. And he takes high, 2-2. Shift on for Schaffner on a 2-2 count. The pitch. Called strike 3. The leadoff man gone in the North Carolina 8th.
Boy, this is just painting a fastball down and away. Looked like it was a little bit off. Schaffner did not like it, but called strike 3.
Andrew Johnson's Bob Andrea loves it. 1 out. Cadena going to the mound to visit with Johnson. There's action in the bullpen for USC. Sax Matson was up earlier, the lefty. I wonder if this is a batter-to-batter situation. If Gallagher reaches,
I think that's exactly.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what Andy Stankiewicz is doing. You know, go batter to batter. If all of a sudden one guy gets on, you go straight to the bullpen. If he's able to stay out there and collect outs, then you know what? Just leave him out.
(3-1) USC bottom 8. First pitch to Gallagher. A strike. It's 0-1. Gallagher doubled in the first. He struck out swinging in the third and flied to center in the sixth. The captain of this UNC team, who has been such a dynamic postseason performer for them, trying to get the tying run to the plate in the 8th. Takes inside. It's 1-1. The pitch. 2-1. He's starting to leak a little bit arm side for Johnson.
Hey, I mean, you can see the fatigue is out there. It's a hot day. We've talked about it. It's muggy. He's pitched 96. He already had pitched on Friday, so you can tell there's a lot of fatigue in that body.
143 pitches in regionals, 130 now in this super regional. And Gallagher on the ground to second. Carpentier throws him out. 2 gone in the UNC 8th. Incredible performance so far.
Gutsy, right? I mean, just a completely gutsy performance, going 3 2/3 all together in super regionals. 11 1/3, 122 pitches.
2 outs, nobody on for Owen Hall, and Hall has had the best super regional of any UNC hitter. 7 for 11, including a pair of doubles today. And he drives that one down the left field line. That one's slicing, and it'll fall fair and bounce into the corner. Hall with his 3rd double of the game, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs in the 8th as the tying run will come to the plate and Macon Winslow. There is no righty getting loose. Actually, Adam Troy just started throwing in the USC pen. This feels like Johnson's going to get the cleanup man for a 4th time here, Gabby.
I don't think they have enough time for Troy to be getting warmed up and loose. But they might get a little bit of time here. Scott Forbes is going to use one of his offensive timeouts.
Johnson tossing the ball behind the mound. You wonder if this is enough extra time to get the right-hander ready, or if they'll trust Johnson here.
I think they're going to have to trust Johnson on this one. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get ready.
The conference is over. The big story for North Carolina in this series is they've had a lot of chances to break games open. They haven't come up with a big hit. They could use it right now with Macon Winslow at the plate. 0 for 2 with a walk for the designated hitter. Outfield being told to back up and play no doubles. First pitch to Winslow, and he swings and strides it up the alley in right center field. That one back towards the fence, and it one-hops the bottom of the wall. Hall comes home to score. Winslow to second. It's a 1-run game in the 8th.
Macon Winslow gets an elevated fastball out over the plate. Drives it 105 miles an hour off the bat to right center field. That's only the 2nd hit for these Tar Heels lineup with a runner in scoring position in the Super Regional. They cut the game to 1.
And the first hit of the Super Regional for Winslow is a big one. And Andy Stankiewicz is going to go and take the ball from the sophomore right-hander Johnson. What a job by Johnson, but Sax Matson is coming into the game with the tying run at second, in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 outs. North Carolina down a run, the winner to Omaha. Is there a little Bosch magic left in the UNC bats? They've cut the deficit to 1 with 2 outs in the 8th. Sax Matson is on out of the UNC bullpen, or out of the USC bullpen, excuse me. The left-hander who pitched yesterday and gave up this to the man coming to the plate, Eric Paulson.
Yeah, against lefties, Sax Matson has been really good, but Eric Paulson, well, he didn't care because in yesterday's ball game, he got himself a pitch and drove it over the wall. It was the first home run that he had given up against a left-handed batter.
Perry Hargett is going to pinch run at second, the sophomore outfielder, the tying run. Paulson hit by a pitch, and the go-ahead run is at first with 2 outs in the 8th. And now the question is, do they stick with Matson, who's much better against lefties than righties, or do they go to Troy, who is their closer and has been much better against righties than lefties?
The tough part about this UNC lineup that Scott Forbes have is that he basically goes lefty-righty, lefty-righty. He is going to go to the bullpen, right, because you need to get this last out. So you're going to want to have that righty-righty matchup.
But it might be the last change he makes, as Adam Troy is going to make his first appearance of this Super Regional. The closer for USC coming in, 2 outs, tying and go-ahead runs aboard for North Carolina in the 8th, winner to Omaha. North Carolina still searching for their first elusive national championship. USC trying to end a 25-year Omaha drought. One of these teams will advance, and North Carolina has the tying and go-ahead runs aboard in the bottom of the 8th inning. Andrew Johnson started this game and left with a man at second here, 2 outs in the 8th inning. Right-hander responsible for that man. Sax Matson hit the only man that he faced. And now Adam Troy will make his first appearance of this Super Regional, and he struggled in College Station during the regional round.
Yeah, one of the biggest things, of course, is going to be that command for Adam Troy. It's a good fastball, too. You see top at maybe 95, 96 miles an hour coming out of the pen, especially with the crowd the way that it is right now. It's got a very good slider and changeup. Big differences, too, between lefties and righties and the splits. Righties, boy, he has been able to dominate. He's only given up an OPS of 518 against right-handed batters.
Colin Hynek, who homered yesterday, takes a strike. It's 0-1. The transfer from Georgia State, 9 home runs on the year. Top 10 all-time in Georgia State history in homers. Hargett from second, Paulson from first. The 0-1. Way outside, and it gets away. And now the tying run is at third, and the go-ahead run in scoring position for North Carolina.
does. Looks like it's going to be a wild pitch. Just pulls that fastball down and away. Now all of a sudden you have some issues. Cadena behind home plate with the runner on third. Ball can't get by you, or this is going to be a tie ball game. Got to do everything you can to keep it in front.
1-1 the count to Heineck. The pitch. A strike in the count, 1-2. 96 at the bottom of the zone. Troy ready. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Adam Troy gets out of the jam as Carolina leaves the tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position to end the 8th. Adam Troy powering a fastball by Colin Heineck. We head to the 9th. USC leading North Carolina 3-2 with Omaha in the distance.
Adam Troy just playing power baseball. You want my fastball? Well, here it is. Strike one, strike two, 97 miles an hour on strike three with the swing and miss.
North Carolina threatened, but they could not close the gap, and now they need Jackson Rose to post a 0 in the 9th as he faces Isaac Cadena and starts him with a strike 0-1. Winner to Omaha. North Carolina has been a constant presence over the last 2 decades. They're trying to make their 9th trip in the last 20 years. In fact, the last time the ACC was out without a team in Omaha was 2005. And right after that, Carolina went to Omaha 4 straight years. USC hasn't been in a quarter century. 1-1 to Cadena. Foul down the left field line. It's 1-2. This is fun.
This is fun baseball here.
It has been an extremely well-pitched game today. Jackson Rose needing to take care of the bottom of the lineup to give North Carolina a chance. USC would love to add an insurance run. Cadena to the right side. The sure-handed Gallagher staggers but throws him out. 1 gone. The bottom of the order will be due for North Carolina in the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Tyler Howe, Cooper Nicholson, and the senior Carter French. And after getting the lefty, Scott Forbes is going to go to the bullpen, and he's got Walker McDuffie ready. So a pitching change coming here with 1 out in the top of the 9th. USC leading North Carolina 3-2. Winner goes to Omaha in Game 3 at Super Regionals. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? We've had a whale of a ball game this afternoon here in Chapel Hill. Winner to Omaha. Game 3 of Supers. USC with a 3-2 lead over North Carolina. Jackson Rose, the freshman, perfect in his inning of relief work. He will turn things over to Walker McDuffie, the sophomore right-hander. He and Glauber have been the story for North Carolina this year. Two of the top pitchers, not just in the ACC, but out of the bullpen in the country.
I mean, so good. Being able to command 3 pitches out of the bullpen. He has been the workhorse of this bullpen, along with Caden Glauber all season long. On Friday, though, he did give up a big grand slam when he came into the ball game. Something that he does not want for that to happen again, because this was a big-time moment in the game where Dean Carpentier was able to take a hanging breaking ball and hit a grand slam with it. That really turned the game around, and USC was able to take control and not relinquish a lead.
Jack Basir will bat. The right-handed hitting right fielder 0 for 3 today. First pitch from McDuffie, swing and a miss. Much better slider than we saw, I think, at all on Friday from him. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Nothing at 2. Fastball velocity down a little bit for McDuffie on that one, but he spotted it perfectly. Scott Forbes in need of refreshment here with the game on the line. 0-2 hit him. And USC has a base runner with 1 out in the 9th. Had him 0-2 and lost him on that fastball.
Yeah, you try to run that fastball up and in, and ball gets away from him. He talked about it too. The fastball velocity is down. It's 91-92. We're used to seeing that fastball velocity be in the 4s and even in the 5s. So there is some arm fatigue where all of a sudden when you try to run that fastball in, it could get away from him.
Maddox Risky entered the game as a defensive replacement earlier. He was a starting shortstop for about half the year, has struggled offensively this season as he takes a ball outside. 1-0. Product of Bishop Gorman, son of former big league reliever David Risky. McDuffie set. The 1-0. Fires a strike at 92. It's 1-1. (3-2) USC, top of the 9th. The 1-1. Outside, it's 2-1.
You look at where UNC is playing. There's nobody on that right side of the field against Risky.
Runner goes. The pitch punched that way right to the first baseman, Paulson, who'll take it to the bag for out number 2. Well, they tried to hit and run in that spot, and just the wrong spot for Risky to hit it. Two outs at the top of the 9th. The last time the ACC did not have a representative of the Men's College World Series 21 years ago. North Carolina trying to make that number irrelevant. They're going to need a rally in the bottom of the 9th. And Carpentier, who hit the grand slam off of McDuffie the other day, gets an intentional walk. Carpentier has just 4 homers on the year, and hitting in the 240s draws the intentional walk here. Interesting.
I think this was just to set up a force play at any base, really, at third base, second base, or first. They probably like going up against Urban too more than they would like to go up against Carpentier.
Walter Urban's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, both of those against the starter, Caden Glauber. McDuffie trying to get this to the bottom of the ninth as a one-run game, and he misses 1-0. Bottom third of the order due for North Carolina, hoping that they're only down a run. The 1-0. Urban on the ground to second. Gallagher has it. He will throw it to first, inning over. USC 3 outs away from Omaha. Can North Carolina rally to keep their national championship hopes alive? It's a one-run game as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance. It's Andrew Johnson, the right-hander for USC, who was dynamite after going 3 2/3 in the regional opener out of the pen to settle down a game-1 victory for USC. He's put him in position to go to Omaha, Gabby.
He was absolutely phenomenal. Just a gutsy performance coming back after 2 days, being able to come out and do exactly what he did here in this ball game. Going that deep, throwing that many pitches, and just keeping your team and giving your team a chance to Omaha.
Is there a little Bosch magic left in this season for UNC? They trail by a run. They have the bottom third of the order due against the closer for the Trojans, Adam Troy. Tyler Howe will lead things off. Then Cooper Nicholson and Carter French, the scheduled hitters. Now, Troy has really struggled with left-handed hitters this year.
Yeah, and if you're UNC, that's kind of one of the things you're looking for. Against left-handed hitters, he's given up an OPS of almost 1,100.
First pitch to Howe. He swings and bounces it to second. Covarrubias to first, and the leadoff man gone to the UNC ninth. USC 2 outs from Omaha. USC scored their runs on a pair of solo home runs and a balk in the first inning. North Carolina with RBI doubles from Hull in the third and Winslow in the eighth. And they left the tying and go-ahead run aboard to end the eighth. First pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. Cooper Nicholson, the leading home run hitter for North Carolina. He has the power to get this game even. 16 home runs on the year for the Des Moines native. The 0-1. Swinging a drive deep down the left field line. Hooking, and it is foul. A foul ball. Oh, Nicholson crushed it, but it hooked foul at the last moment.
I'll tell you what, Nicholson caught up to the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, top of the zone. Nicholson looking at it, trying to jump to bring it back into fair territory.
Look at Adam Troy.
Adam Troy, he's doing the opposite thing, saying, no, 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 get foul.
0-2 the count. The pitch. Swinging foul out of play off to the right. Watch Carolina's bench on this swing. They thought he had it.
Oh, he had it all right. It just went foul. Had the distance. Just couldn't keep it fair.
From elation to disappointment. The 0-2 again. Bounced up there, 1-2.
Yeah, right now I'm just worried about fastball. If I'm facing Troy, I know he has a good fastball. It's 95, 96. Looks like he spikes his pitches as well. You can see the knuckle coming up on the pitch. But you got to just be able to get that foot down on that fastball.
The 1-2. 2-2. He's going to have to go back to the fastball.
Yeah,
I mean, neither of those breaking balls have been close.
So, I mean, that really the pitch that he's able to control is that fastball. Now, he can't elevate that fastball. But the last time that he elevated that fastball, Cooper Nicholson almost kept it fair down that left field line.
Sean Allen going to go out, the pitching coach for USC. It was a very quick conference. Everyone on their feet at the Bosch. 2-2 the count to Nicholson. The pitch. Swinging a pop-up. Foul and out of play. He's going to have to fight those fastballs on the top of the zone.
I mean,
that's down, right?
That's where he wants to be. He wants to be in the top of the zone. He wants to get that swing and miss.
Two-two. And the count goes full to Nicholson.
And right now he's showing the only pitch that he can control for a strike is going to be the fastball.
Senior Carter French waiting on deck. Scott Forbes hoping his team can put together a rally. Andy Stankiewicz hoping that Troy can close the door and send the men of Troy to Omaha. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4, and the tying runs aboard.
What an at-bat by Cooper Nicholson. This is not an easy take, especially when you've had some struggles, especially in Super Regional. But this ball off the plate, away. Very, very good take to get yourself to first base if you're Cooper Nicholson.
Carter French bats. He has been a platoon outfielder this year, the senior. A key role player the last 2 seasons for North Carolina in his 4th year in the program. First pitch, takes outside, 1-0. Carter French in 124 games, just 5 extra base hits and no home runs. The winning run at the plate. Takes low, 2-0. And Jake Schaffner in the on-deck circle. The 2-0. 3-0 to French. Andy Stankiewicz heading out, and with a 3-0 count, he makes a pitching change.
Wow.
That's it for Troy. The closer out of the game, and they're going to the bullpen. Tying run at first. Winning run at the plate. And Chase Harrell, who gave them 2 strong innings out of the bullpen in their Game 1 win, is going to replace Troy. A 3-0 count.
That right there is Andy Stankiewicz knowing his player, understanding he does not have it right now, and doesn't want to just go ahead and say, okay, let's walk another guy to get a guy into scoring position to tie a ball game up. Rather go to the bullpen and see if all of a sudden Chase Harrell can do something here even on a 3-0 count.
Chase Harrell has reverse splits on the season. He's been better against lefties than righties, facing the left-handed French.
Wow.
And then the left-handed Jake Schaffner in the on-deck circle. This is the most animated this crowd has been today. Frustrating finish to the outing for Troy, who got a big strikeout to end the 8th. And there's Harrell, the Ohio State transfer.
Yeah, for Harrell against lefties, what makes him so good is that changeup. He'll be mostly fastball changeups to lefties. You talk about the reverse splits. Against righties, it's more fastball sliders. He does have a little bit of cut. Rarely throws the changeup.
Winner of this game is going to Omaha. North Carolina trying to get there for the second time in the last 3 years. The new blood who's been there frequently in the last 20 seasons. The blue blood is USC, but it's been a quarter century since that proud program has competed on college baseball's biggest stage. Forget Omaha, this is the greatest show on dirt right now. Tying run at first, 1 out, mid-count pitching change, bottom of the 9th. The senior Carter French against the sophomore Chase Harrell. Cooper Nicholson the runner. I have to think that French is likely taking 1 or 2 here.
I would think you definitely take 1. I wouldn't say 2, but if you're Carter French, though, you take this as if you are going to hit.
First pitch to him from Harrell, a strike. It's 3-1. And Scott Forbes is going to use a timeout now.
Yeah, I wonder if Scott Forbes is going to call him over and say, hey, what do you think about maybe taking another one here on a 3-1 count? It's a really good 3-0 pitch, by the way. It's a fastball that just dots the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, but did you see French patting his coach on the shoulder? He's like, I got this, man. This is the senior. He has been an important role player for them. The last half of last year, he became one of their starting corner outfielders. This year, he's been in a platoon, and watch his reaction when Forbes comes over, arm around head coach.
Yeah, we got this. No biggie.
Don't worry about it.
We're just playing baseball. This is the greatest show on dirt.
This is undoubtedly what Carter French dreamed of, having this opportunity when he came to North Carolina. 3-1 the count. Tying run at first. The pitch. Called strike again, and the count is full.
Oh, same exact pitch as the 3-0. Dotting the bottom of the zone.
Nicholson, a very short lead at first. The 3-2. On the ground through the right side. It's a base hit. Nicholson to second. He's going to head to third. Basir's throw, not in time. Tying run at third with 1 out for Carolina in the 9th. Carter French with a base hit.
Same pitch 3 times in a row. Carter French this time says, I'm not taking. I'm going to go ahead and swing it. Cooper Nicholson, too, there was a little bit of stutter around second base as he was running. Still able to make it to third, and all of a sudden, UNC has first and third with the top of the lineup coming up.
Jake Schaffner is the hitter. A single and a run scored back in the third. 1 for 4 for the leadoff man. Infield pinched in at the corners. Double play depth up the middle. A fly ball would tie the game. First pitch. Schaffner swings and skies one. Right center field. That'll be deep enough to tie it up. Under it is Takeuchi. He makes the catch. Coming home to score. Nicholson. We're tied at 3. Gabby, they haven't had many hits with men in scoring position, but over the last 2 days in big spots, 3 big sacrifice flies, including the game tire for Schaffner.
Talk about getting the job done, looking for an elevated pitch that you could drive to the outfield. Jake Schaffner does just that. Not trying to be the hero. Let's just get the job done. Get that runner in.
And now here's the captain, Gavin Gallagher, the man who gave us Chapel thrill 2 years ago with his walk-off grand slam against Long Island. Three game, bottom of the 9th. First pitch. Checks his swing. Did he go? He held up. It's 1-0. French a modest lead at first. The pitch. Gallagher takes a strike. It's 1-1.
Right now for the Trojan defense, basically playing no doubles. Risky at third base. He's a step and a dive on that line. Outfield, they're playing a little bit deeper. They don't want the ball to get over their head.
A lot of space in the middle of the field. The pitch way outside, 2-1. Gavin Gallagher's postseason career, you see what the numbers are. A nearly 1,100 OPS. The 2-1, 3-1. And Owen Hall, who's had 3 doubles in this game, is on deck.
And that's why if you're Gavin Gallagher, you're looking for one pitch. It's going to be that fastball. Something that you can really drive because the guy behind you has been on fire today.
The 3-1. Outside, ball 4 in the winning runs in scoring position. And the leading RBI man for the Tar Heels coming to the plate. It's been a big day for Owen Hall. Doubling homer run back in the 3rd. 2 opposite field doubles and a run scored in the 8th. That pulled the Tar Heels within 1. And now the outfield having to play a little more shallow, Gabby, to try and cut down French at the plate on a base hit. 3-3 game, bottom of the 9th. Omaha on the line. The transfer from George Mason waits and takes ball 1. One of those 2 hits with men in scoring position was making Winslow's double in the 8th that cut the lead to 1. The 2-0. Now it's 2-0. Two balls and no strikes to Hall. Quick conversation. As they're asking about mound visits, I think, and Cadena is going to go out there to settle things down.
You got to think you got to be careful with Owen Hall up.
Jaden Nunez, the freshman in the on-deck circle. Remember, Macon Winslow was taken down for a pinch runner. Nunez, who's been better against right-handed pitching than lefties this year, can hit a fastball with just about anybody. And Cadena trying to settle things down, but right now, Hall in the driver's seat, 2-0, Gabby.
And you got to be careful with him just because he has been swinging a very hot bat. If you're Harrell here, you don't want to just groove one over the heart of the plate, because if you do, it's going to go a long way. All you need is a base hit here.
And Scott Forbes now going to use the last offensive timeout for North Carolina. They'll get all of the base runners along. Jesse Weisbricke, the hitting coach, out there with Forbes.
And right now the discussion is, this is what the fastball looks like. This is what you need to see. This is what we're going to do. They're not going to give him the take side. If it's anything over the heart of the plate, they want him swinging.
2-0 the count. Winning run at second. The pitch. Hull pops it up. Down the left field line. Racing over. Risky. Can't make the play. The ball, two defenders of the brick ball down the left field line all together. And Risky just could not pull it in.
Yeah, you talked about Risky here. He's just floating along with the ball rather than getting to the point. Tough play. That ball has a lot of English on it. It's going to be sailing more towards that outfield line, towards that wall. That's exactly what he did. Couldn't really get there.
We've seen Hull use left field effectively today with two of his doubles going to the opposite field.
And Urban also moved more towards that left field line, the left fielder.
2-1 the count. Winning run at second, bottom nine. The pitch. Hull swings and drives one deep to center field. Takeuchi going back, and he can't get there. North Carolina is going back to Omaha. The big hit with men in scoring position finally came. Owen Hull's fourth double of the game has given the Heels a 4-3 win and set them to their second Men's College World Series in 3 years. USC, who had a 2-run lead in the 8th. What an effort from the Trojans. But it's North Carolina who finds their way to Omaha behind their star center fielder.
And Owen Hall just does what he has been doing all game long. Letting the ball get deep, hitting it the opposite way. No bigger than this one. They had to play in because a base hit would score a run. Shows off the opposite field power, hits it 100 miles an hour off the bat, and if this ball gets down, it's gonna be over, and there it is. A huge comeback by UNC in the bottom of the 9th.
Look at the elation on Owen Hall's face. The transfer from George Mason, RBI number 81 on the year, and none of them sweeter than that one for him. The Heels are going back to Omaha. Scott Forbes going to gather his players for USC. 1 out away from the Men's College World Series and breaking the 25-year drought. An incredible performance from both teams.
Yeah.
What a finish today, man.
I mean, what a baseball game for USC. Boy, they left it all out there. They could not give any more than what they gave. For UNC, struggling with minute scoring position this whole entire super until it mattered the most in the 9th inning for a huge hit.
You saw the heartbreak for Isaac Cadena and so many of the Trojans so close to that incredible goal of getting to Omaha, and the Heels have done it again. Trips to Omaha in the last 20 years now, as UNC will take on Ole Miss when they get to Omaha this week. Incredible. What a finish. What a ball game. What a super regional. Absolutely. Both of these teams and their fans should be so proud of the way that they played.
Yeah.
Incredible performances all around. Let's get a look at the bracket. You see North Carolina will face Ole Miss, West Virginia, and Troy, both making their first ever trips to Omaha. In the other half of that bracket, a team making its 13th Omaha appearance, and Ole Miss, the 2022 national champions. And we are very pleased to be joined now by the hero for UNC today, Owen Hall. He's got the trophy in his hand and showing it off to the fans. And the center fielder set to join us now. Owen, Mike Farron, Gabby Sanchez, congratulations. What does this mean to you?
Oh, it means the world. We got a really special group of guys here, and we stuck to the process no matter what. And yeah, man, this is one special team, and we're looking forward to playing in Omaha.
Tell you what, I mean, throughout the whole entire season, you guys have just been fantastic. My one question for you, or two questions. One, are you going to take that trophy home with you and it's going to stay in your bed? And two, what a performance pitching-wise by your staff to keep you guys in the game to win this. What can you say about them?
Yeah, like I said, we got a special group of boys. Pitching staff is great. Caden Glauber threw well today. McDuffie came back, got his get back. That was amazing, and yeah, we're definitely going to celebrate this one, but we're going to turn right back around and go to Omaha.
You know, we saw in your last 3 at-bats, 3 opposite field doubles. Can you take us through your approach on how you turned the field?
Yeah, I just hit the ball hard wherever they pitch it. I feel like those were on the outer half, and I let it get there, and I let my swing do the work. Yes, sir.
That last at bat, take us through it a little bit, because you got ahead in the count and you got a second chance.
Yeah, no, I'm always looking on the hunt. If you got one in the zone, I'm gonna get my best swing at it. So, yeah, I'm up there competing. I let everything else do the work.
I would assume that this is why you transferred here from George Mason, is for this kind of moment.
Yes, sir. I love University of North Carolina, and we have one quote that I like to add, that we've really had the whole season. Anything you vividly imagine, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon absolutely must come to pass, and that's what we did right there.
It absolutely was. Over the last 2 innings, a comeback win. You're going to Omaha. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and appreciate the time.
Thank you guys for having me on.
The hero for the Tar Heels today. 4 doubles, including the walk-off in the bottom of the 9th to send the Tar Heels to Omaha. And Scott Forbes' second trip there as the head coach. Well, this has been an absolutely incredible Super Regional.
Wow.
A great thanks to our crew, led by our producer, Scott Matthews, and our director, Johnny Hanna. They have been with us over the course of the last 3 weeks. You could not ask for a better crew to work with. And all of the men and women that have supported us over the last several weeks who have had long, long days to bring you these Super Regionals, they get our thanks. As you see the pose and Owen Hall in the front for North Carolina here today. The Tar Heels with 2 in the 9th rally to stun USC 4-3 today. For the second time in 3 years, the University of North Carolina will get a chance to be in the Men's College World Series and play for that elusive first national championship. The final play, Owen Hall knocks in Carter French, and the University of North Carolina will move on to the Men's College World Series. Now for my partner, Gabby Sanchez, I'm Mike Farron. Thank you so much for joining us for this incredible Super Regional. Matt Schick and Mike Rooney are standing by in our Bristol studios with more coverage of the NCAA Super Regionals. The University of North Carolina making their 13th trip to Omaha. They do it in dramatic fashion.